Hi, so this is more of a kind of serious topic video. I'm going to keep it pretty freeform. Happy Easter to those that celebrate it or to anyone else whenever you end up seeing this video. I'm recording this and uploading it on Easter Day, but I kind of wanted to go into a topic that hits very close to home, is very personal and meaningful to me, and something I made a video about last year, and the reception on that video was massive. By the hundreds, people were coming to the video. There's dozens upon dozens of comments of people talking about how me even dabbling in that topic was something that meant a lot to them and that spoke to them. And so I wanted to come on here and talk about my experiences as a Christian metalhead and the fact that I am a Christian metalhead. And I feel like that's a statement that you don't oftentimes hear. Even though there are plenty of religious metalheads of all shapes and forms, generally speaking, the association with metal is automatically satanic devil worshippers that burn down churches and have upside down crosses on their corpse paint. And so you don't really get much else unless you're specifically going to a band that is open with the fact that they are either Christian in their origin or Christian by member, or whatever it may be. And it's not something that I've really talked about much because I never really want that to be like the focal point or main thing that I talk about, because that's not the point of this channel. It's not the goal of this channel. But I've had like Christian iconography in my videos right above my CD area, which is very messy. I apologize for that. I've been redoing some of the shelving and I just haven't finished it yet. Right above my CD area, if y'all watch like older videos, there is a giant cross there. There's a giant cross over there on my wall. I'm literally wearing a shirt with crosses on it. I've had cross earrings. I've read the Bible. I consider myself Protestant for what it's worth, and I think that actually does help a lot in terms of how I approach religion. Because to those that just ask, I always just say I'm a Christian. But to those that like know me better, I'm specifically a Lutheran. It's the denomination that I've always identified the most with. And even though like my parents aren't Lutherans and I don't really know that many Lutherans, the ones that I've met I've identified a lot with, and I just really appreciate and like that sect. But it's really not that big of a deal to me. And I have gotten questions before of like, how do you reconcile with your favorite genre and the thing that you consume a lot of, generally speaking, being very critical of religion? And I do think that in terms of this niche, I'm one of the only larger creators that are just open about, my religion. As far as I know, out of the friends that I have in this community, like bigger creators, they're all pretty agnostic or atheist. And it's kind of funny because I tend to get along better with atheists and like agnostics than I do Christians. And a lot of times I think that just comes down to worldview, how they approach things, and the fact that they're usually a little bit more easygoing. And maybe that's just the people that I've met. But it actually surprises a lot of people that I'm Christian. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video, is there are a lot of weird stereotypes of people assuming what a Christian is and isn't. And because of my interests, because of what I am, because of the things that I like and enjoy, or the way that I dress, whatever it may be, people automatically assume that, I can't be Christian, or that it's some big shocker that I am a Christian. And as for the reconciling part, I don't really take it that deep. My faith is a very personal thing, and it's something that is stronger than anything else. And if you want to go through life, if you're the type of religious person, no matter what you are, that thinks that you need to tiptoe around every single thing that is sinful or immoral or unjustifiable, you are going to be tiptoeing through everything, because there are not going to be any exceptions to the rule. Everything in some form or fashion has a flaw to it, has a sinful quality to it, and no one is perfect. Absolutely nothing in this world is perfect. And if you think that you're holier than thou and can just dodge everything, you know, I don't know what to say, but you're probably not going to get very far. And when it comes to being like a religious metalhead, I enjoy a lot of genres, a lot of bands that are atheist or agnostic, or their members are, or they write specific music that is, in fact, anti religious. And I think a lot of that also comes from the fact that I have a very intense way of viewing the world. I view the world through a very storyteller lens. Ever since I was young, I wanted to be an author. I've written stuff ever since I was young, I've always been a very like articulate and verbose person, and I am fascinated by researching things that are outside of my norm, that is outside of my comfort zone. And I think that kind of translated a lot to my music listening habits, because I don't really care if I see something that's anti-religious, and if anything, I want to hear what's anti-religious. I want to hear why they feel that way. I want to feel if they put it in a poetic way, an artful way, how are they romanticizing the ideas that they have in their heads? Why do they think the way that they do? And if you believe something so extreme, what brought you to that point to feel that way? The philosophy by it, the psychology behind it is fascinating and intriguing to me. And it's also one of those things where it's a kind of primitive way of looking at it, but if your faith is so like breakable and so bendable that you cannot in any form or fashion not only question faith, but consume things that are outside of your faith, you aren't going to get very far. Your faith isn't that strong. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, but if you're someone that has to tiptoe around things because you're afraid that you're going to hear something that's going to change your mind or rock your world, you aren't as ironclad and stalwart in your faith as you think you are. And for me, I can hear the most anti-God song of all time, and I'm not going to come out the other side of that changing my faith. And I think that one of the most healthy things that someone can do with their religion is ask questions, to question, question the creator, question the nature of the universe, question the world, question your own faith, your own personal spirituality. And because of the fact that I'm a Lutheran, I think that, fuck the rest of the world. No one on this earth should get to define what your religion is, what your religion means to you, or anything that comes past that point. That should be a very personalized thing that is specific to you. And I've already gone on topic many times talking about how Christianity is not nearly as crucified as people think it is in the modern sphere. And not only that, most of the time, these anti-religious musicians and bands, they're doing it in more of like sort of like an analogy way. They're doing it more as a topic, as a subject matter, as a straw man. They're using Satan as an idea. They're using God as an idea. And while that may not make it any better or worse in your eyes, in the grand scheme of things, most of these people aren't really practicing what they're preaching or believing what they preach or whatever you want to call it. And, at the end of the day, is art. And art, since the dawn of time, has always been about a variety of ideas. And also, it's like Christianity, it's prevalent in metal too, and rock. There are bands that aren't even Christian bands that talk a lot about religion, both a positive and a negative way, somewhere in the middle. And you can really pick and choose what you listen to if you want to. Now, I personally don't even enjoy a lot of Christian metal, and I would consider myself a very devout Christian in many ways. And obviously, I'm a flawed person, everyone is, but I would consider myself someone that's very strong in my faith. And I've had a lot of people, ask me, why are you religious? How are you religious? How can you believe in that? But in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't that deep. And I've been in a lot of toxic niches and communities. The communities that I come from are, generally speaking, anti-religious, atheistic or agnostic in nature. And I've never lost a friend because I'm a Christian. I've never gotten to an argument with someone because I'm a Christian, in the same way that they're free to believe whatever they want. It shouldn't come in the way of anything. It shouldn't define, a friendship with someone or a relationship with someone. And for me, when it comes to being a Christian metalhead, I don't think that it's ever impeded anything for me, and it's just one of the many things that make me who I am. And I think that a lot of times Christians in the metal scene just get a weird reputation because you're obviously being seen as like the counterculture, but I guarantee you, there are so many more Christian metalheads than you think. There are Christian black metal fans, there are Christian death metal fans, extreme metal fans, grindcore fans, whatever you want to say. And, statistically, even though this niche tends to be anti-religious, that is far from like the huge majority. And I would say to anyone that is religious or non-religious, rock what you want, but believe what you believe and have conviction in that. Be open-minded to what you want to believe in, but just stay as ironclad as you can, obviously. There's a way you can be open-minded and listen to other things without changing who you are inside and what you believe and why you believe it. And as long as you aren't afraid to ask questions and aren't afraid to look deeper into yourself, I see absolutely no issue with that. And at the end of the day, it's your own journey. You can find it as you please. But thank you so much for watching this video. Happy Easter to those of you that celebrate it. I'll talk to you guys next time, but until then, my name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.